Forgot to actually put my mic on. Apparently I am out of practice. What a way to start a stream. Anyway. No, there's birds in a nest up there, hey? Yes, there are. Whoa. Hi, my name's Katie. This is the Atelier Nikazuki stream of consciousness, and we are here today to fuck around and figure it out. Like, I didn't want to put that in my, title, but that's what we're here to do. Oh, my goodness, my YouTube is frozen solid. So let's get this done. Ooh, what's the notification? Oh, that's not exciting. All right, we're just gonna go make sure that everything is still streaming through. I will move to the multi-stream on Twitch. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna move my little mini cam here. I'm gonna move me, face cam. I am gloriously pink again. I went and got my hair dyed. Loving it. It's feeling very natural, which is insane to say about a not found in nature color for your hair, but I am 100% here for it. Okay, I'm just gonna post the linky link and then we'll get going with the sewy sewing. If you are looking for anything that was completed last week, it is actually all listed on the website except for the katos. So the mini travelers and the belt bags are all posted. And yeah, we're chugging along here. Today what we're doing is we are working with the fuck around part is we are doing the zip and grip. I already know that I placed the stabilizer on the wrong side of the bag. It's supposed to be on the exterior, not the interior. Yeah, so that is, this is the learning curve. So what ended up happening is it's made the welt pocket really hard to sew. That's fine. It won't impact the actual bag, I don't think. It will go into, it will end up going into a seconds thing, but that's fine. That's what just ends up having to happen. Ooh, I don't know who it is. Okay, there we go. Links, posty. It smells like a forest fire today, and I cannot tell if it's a fire in this area or if it's smoke coming from somewhere else. Let me just check here so that I don't freak out about it, because I've got my windows open and yeah, I know that Dallas has there's a bunch of fires up around his plant. They actually had to evacuate his two sister plants that are up there. But he's okay, thankfully. Okay, yeah, there's nothing around us. That's good. There's a lot up north. And I know there's a lot in Saskatchewan and Manitoba right now, which, hi, sorry guys. So we'll keep an eye out, I guess. If you see Fling going back and forth being crazy, it's because we've actually got birds' nests up top here. And I will probably have to go and refer to the actual video for this pattern, because it turns out I thought this thing was a full pattern, and a full pattern normally includes all the instructions. Turns out that it's mostly a cutting template with video instructions, and I'm like, I'm a little bit lost on some of these steps, but we will persevere because I really want this bag. I.e., I messed up the little slip pocket. So like I said, this is already destined for the seconds sales, which basically means I will recoup some costs and some labor, but it will not be a full price item. There's a whole bunch that I need to seconds off anyway, so I probably should do that at some point. Maybe I'll bring a seconds bin and like sale off bin to the Stampede breakfast in July. Oh right, I need to update the upcoming events because that is the next confirmed event is Stampede Pancake Breakfast. Pancake Breakfast, Pancake Breakfast. The emails just went out the other day, so. Okay, ancient arts, yarns, Stampede Pancake Breakfast, July 12th. I think it's 10 to 4. Ancient arts, yarns, Stampede. I know it's in my email, but it's honestly easier to look up on their website. La 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 la. 10 to 4. Yeah. 10 to 4. 10 to 4. It's at the studio, so I'm just going to put it at the Ancient Arts Yarn Studio because otherwise that is not going to fit in that box. It barely does as it is. Oh god. I wonder if I can make it bigger and go across. Anyway. Better than nothing. Better than nothing. Sweet. Okay, so this pocket needs to be sewn in to the bag. Okay. Yeah, so what I've done is I've done the same thing as I've done with the eyeglass cases and everything like that. This is stabilizer, and then I've sandwiched, there's an osprey out here. And then I've sandwiched it between the fabric and a piece of interfacing. However, this stabilizer is supposed to go on the exterior. Makes sense when you think about it because doing a welt pocket with like stiff stabilizer is not the way of it. We survived this round, but I will remember this is the learning curve. Okay. Now, this is supposed to be a certain amount down from the top, which is what we have our little measuring for, and actually I guessed it pretty good. By the way, thank you so much for your support on the launch of the belt bags. Super awesome to see. I really liked how those actually ended up turning out. I've been looking for a belt bag pattern for a long time at this point. That was like productionable, because here's the thing, there's lots of really good belt bag patterns, but it has to also be like it can't take too long to sew, right? Because there's a certain point where you end up going over where it is mentally and physically profitable. But that belt bag is not it, so I'm very happy with the fact that you guys all like it too. So I'm gonna work on getting this slip pocket sewn into the actual bag. We also need to wind the next white bobbin. I need to order some thread. I haven't cut a lot of these yet, so what we're going to do is we're going to sew this one, because this is the experiment one. So far, so good, and I do know that these are popular, so I'm pretty set on like having it on hand, but I just want to make sure that it suits my skill set. Actually, it's the main thing right now. So like I said, I already messed up I'm messing up all the pockets right now, so that's okay. The pockets will be easier to sew next time. Hi, Flynn. How are you? Hi, bud. What's up? Yeah, I love you too. Hello, buddy boy. Hi. What's up? You just having a day? Oh, big scratches. Big scratchy scratches. Big scratchy scratches. I love you too. You're blepping. All right, bud. I gotta sew. You wanna come down? I actually saw a really cool cat bed the other day. It's like a desk cat bed, and you can attach it. And I'm like, that might be really good for like the cutting table when he's insistent that he 100% needs to sit on the cutting table when we're cutting. I need another zip. By the way, I finally have everything. Okay, this is a tick too short, but that's okay. But anyway, I'll finally have everything for the need to sew zipper tabs. Yeah, all the zipper pulls finally came in from YKK. Finally. I'm still unimpressed, but not much I can really do about it. So here we are. We'll just deal. It's okay. Everything's fine. We'll survive. It's not like my products are like life-saving or anything like that. So just gonna put, nope. Okay. He needs to face this way. So I haven't really been online since OtaFest, I think. OtaFest went really well, so thank you for all your support there. I very much appreciate it. First time doing any anime like convention or anything like that, and I had a really good time. Made me very much miss being in the community, so it's time to up my game with my anime watching and stuff like that again. I did tell Dawson, like, there's a bunch I want to finish before we go to, or not finish, but like be actively consuming before we go to Japan next year. So, guess hi. Merch. My sweater that I'm currently wearing is from OtaFest as well. It's by Cheese Toasted. She does all the drawing and then has the sweaters manufactured with her drawings. It's very comfy. It's oversized. It's very much my aesthetic right now. Yeah. No, and it was a really good show. Massive learning curve for me coming from the Fibre market scene versus the con market scene. So that's good. Okay, place next piece. Does she want me to do oh yeah, she wants a box. Okay, and then it's supposed to be, okay, and then trim down to match the fabric. Okay, that's cool. That's easy enough to do. I am not going to do a box. I'm just going to trim it down. Because why would I follow a pattern? Actually, no, that doesn't work there. That needs to be pulled out because we don't want there's no point in having the metal showing if I don't have to. Because how long is the zip? Well, whatever. We've made the zip longer now at this point. So, yeah. So OtaFest was a learning curve because I forgot how much people go in on cons, and I am here for it 100%. It did, however, make my booth look a little bit careworn. It's very practical, and it always has been. And I'm kind of like, I knew that going into this. It's something that I've been trying to like change up a little bit over the last few years, but like it's expensive, and a pretty booth doesn't necessarily sell more things. But there was also extremely different browsing patterns for this event compared to Fibre shows. They did not want to come into a U booth. Customers wanted to do the whole like breeze by shop, so like that's something I'll change out next year, in that I will do I basically on Sunday I changed the whole booth around to a U booth, or so I was on a corner, so I did an L out this way, whereas generally my booth is like in. So yeah, so that leaves me more space to like decorate next year. So we'll make sure that we take the cherry blossom trees and probably a couple mannequins to dress in like kimono and all of that. So, and I'm honestly super considering if I should also maybe bring some obi and stuff like that for like custom orders and things like that. I think that would be a lot of fun as well, and probably the location to do this sort of thing. So, but everyone was super enthusiastic. It was definitely worth the time and effort. I need to make sure that I have more lifestyle bags next year. Surprise. So lifestyle bags being like the minis and the belt bags and these zip and grips, hopefully. I also, right before the event, found a backpack pattern that I really like. So that's something we're going to be adding to the lineup in general this year as well. I'll have more totes and not the hand sewn or not the sewn totes, but my like logo totes and things like that. It also kind of gave Dallas a kick in the butt to be like, okay, let's actually update the booth. And there's a few things we can do without like overwhelming the truck either, because that is still, I don't want to go beyond the truck bed. We already have the topper. Like I don't want to go to like a trailer or something like that sort of setup. So now I'm also like, all right, so what's the next anime event that I can do? There are none that fit in the schedule right now. It's like, well, fuck that. Damn it. Just like they don't fit in with like, or well, okay, the next event is in August, the week before Vibrations, but that means Dallas is out of town. And the kids are still like, we're still at that point where they're too young to leave with anyone yet. So it's on the radar, but it's not yet. And then like, there was actually, I guess Toronto would be in the cards next year because Calgary Marathon has moved off of that weekend. That might be, that's a thought now that I actually just spoke that out loud. But I don't, yeah, going across country is still daunting. Okay, we need to do, so far so good with this pattern. I am happy with how it's like coming together, even though it's not really together yet. I guess the big thing we'll see is how the zipper comes together when we actually get it together. I could see that being the one hang up point for my skill set right now, but I don't think it's going to be bad. This could use a little bit of tape to get the cat hair off of it, or we could just run our finger along it apparently, because it's actually lifting well. All right. So if you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is this bag? This zipping grip. So basically it's a little fold open flat bag. And yes, I will be working on custom orders. But right now I want to get, like, this is also the figure it out month, because I want to get a few things settled before we start, or before we cut for Knit City Vancouver. We're not going to have to cut that much for Knit City Vancouver. We have a shit ton of kato to finish, like a crap ton of kato to finish. But what we do need to cut is these new products. So it's like, okay, we're going to decide what's actually going to go into production for Knit City. We're going to finish up the small box bags that have been prepped or were previously prepped. And then we'll add in some of these new products. I also want to get mini traveler slings done and stuff like that because we are down to like 6. Like I can't actually keep up with that stock right now. So I figure what we'll do is we'll focus in on all of those bags. And then anything that I add here and now. And I think the backpacks and the zip and grip are a good option to add. We'll also go in and we're going to do the embroidery cases too. And I think we should also go in and do some more, I just realized these can just line up, more grime guards and stuff like that too. So, because I haven't leaned too heavily into that yet, but honestly with the embroidery cases coming up here, like the storage cases, I think that that's probably a good option or good thing to be doing here. So, all right, there is our divider zipper pocket done. There we go. I did actually clear out all of my scraps. They are now accumulating again. However, for a very short period of time, and not in a like 2-year time period, I actually had them all cleared out. Someone came and like got all the interior scraps and then also took all the Japanese scraps as well, which was super cool. That was some terrible top stitching. We're going to ignore it because again, seconds already. Yeah, so I did take the whiteboard and write down some numbers that I ideally want for these things. I think I said like 12 to 25 with the zip and grips, 12 to 25 with the backpacks. Finish the Kato. That's kind of the goal right now. If you're waiting for a custom order, I have you in the queue, and we will be working on those in the next few weeks as well. But this has been like haunting my work, this bag, since like last year. So let's get her done, and then we can do everything else. I also misplaced the koi fabric. That's supposed to be one of them, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. Of course I did. Okay. Open zipper, then clip together the interior and exterior. Sew the bottom edges. Leave a 3-inch section unsewn on the lining side. Do not sew the sides. Okay. Can do. We can do that. We have book club on the 10th, so I finished. It's a duology this month. Finished the first book. It's A Fate Inked in Blood and A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle Jensen. She's actually Calgary local. I don't know what to tell you all. I'm all for like supporting a local author and like all of this. And I am not like horrendously like, oh my God, this was a terrible book. But I've had a really hard time with it. I think in part because I am doing a physical copy, and right now my brain and my hands are not into physical copies. I much prefer my audiobooks right now because I can like listen while I'm doing bedtime and chores and all of this. Although at the same time, it's been refreshing to read a physical copy. I'm really torn. I think part of it is I don't like the main character. And it's not getting better right now. So I did start A Curse Carved in Bone. I guess we'll find out. I don't know why I have to turn it out that small hole when I could just like turn it right here, I think. By the way, the plan for these is also that I want to get some obi ones done as well. Because I think the obi and the zip and grip would look fucking amazing. Yeah, why do I have to do it the other way? And then I don't have to try and like, yeah, she's like, and then finish the interior. But if I can just turn the tube this way, whatever. I'm going to just finish it. There's some things that I'm like, Anyway, so, yeah, so I did finish the book. It was definitely better towards the end, but it feels, she is talking about how, like, she likes duologies for romantasy because blah, 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 various reasons. I'm not going to give any spoilers because it was kind of spoilery, but, I honestly feel like this book was both too long and like too rushed. There's like so little happening, and there could have been more. But at the same time, I'm like, I wouldn't really care if there was more or not. I'm so torn about it. It's like, again, it's not terrible, but I do think if I weren't doing this for book club, I wouldn't be finishing the series. There we are. Let's just put it that way. And not like book club is forcing me to finish it. I will gladly DNF if I need to, but, well, maybe not gladly, but I will DNF. But, yeah, I'm just not here for it. Just not here for it. What else happened? I also absolutely smashed my half marathon time. So I've been training. I was originally training for the Calgary Marathon, but we've been so sick all year and all of this, and I just went, you know what, there's something's got to give, and it turned out that, yeah, the half marathon training had to give. So that's what did. And I am so glad I did, because what ended up happening is I had trained well enough that I was able to actually follow a pacer. I actually ended up following the 240 pacer for the majority of the race. The plan was to follow the 245 person. I ended up losing the 245 person around, or 240 person around by kilometer 12. They were like well and truly out of my eyesight. They like turned a corner on 14th Street and never saw them again, sort of thing. However, I also did not get caught by the 245 person because I finished in 244.17. So with the goal of finishing in 245, I am extremely pleased with how my half marathon went. Everything is pointing towards me being able to well and truly accomplish Osaka marathon next year, and they just announced that it will be on the weekend we anticipated. It looks really fucking cool. Yeah, they just posted a teaser website. Registration will open at the end of July. So wish my future entry good luck, because here's hoping. I also found out that one of Dallas's cousins is going to be running Tokyo, and she kind of looked at us like we were crazy, because I was like, well, we'll come cheer you, and you could tell she's like, well, don't just come to Japan because you're going to cheer me on. And I was just like, no, we're going to be there anyway, so we may as well come cheer you on, is what I was thinking. Point. But hopefully what ends up happening is that both her and Dallas get to run it together, because that would be so fucking cool. Now, there is a lot of entries into Tokyo. It's one of the majors, blah, blah, blah. So who knows if it will happen or not, but it would be super cool if it did. All right, we are sewing. Okay, top and bottom, and then turn right side out and top stitch all edges. Okay. Top stitch / baste. Stitch and baste, I guess. Okay. What I'm going to do here is we're going to chain piece across the top of both of these, and then we'll turn it around and do a bottom one as well. Yeah, and so I'm just kind of, I think I was pretty much recovered from the half on Saturday. Taking it easy this week. Obviously I haven't been online. I did all my, so Tuesday I went and did a bunch of like fabric research and picked up the bags I had sent with for the Kimono Fair. And then on Wednesday, I photographed all the belt bags and the minis. So if you're looking for a belt bag or a mini traveler sling, they're listed. I did not get the kato or the pouches done yet, but those will come next. I was just like, you know what, I want to get these belt bags up because I've built a bunch of like anticipation. So that's why they got posted without everything else. But we do have a lot of pouches, and I've got a lot of kato to come up as well. And then, yeah, so I photographed them, got them edited and posted on Friday. Messed around on Friday with something, I don't remember what. Napped a lot this week. It was like my own little like mini vacay, I guess, might be the best description, because Tal's had vacation in the middle of May, but that was that was not vacation for me. There was a lot of running, and there was a lot of birthday parties, and there was still a lot of birthday parties and a lot of running on this last week too. So it was like, okay, I didn't beat myself up about it this week. I just deep breath, chill. Fabric's waiting for you when you get downstairs. I did want to come down and try and tidy up, but it just did not happen. So here we are. Then Saturday, the kids and I went to the city. We went and actually bought some waxed canvas, because we're going to use waxed canvas for the backpack pattern that I found. And then we went and saw a friend, and we went for sushi, and just, yeah, my brother showed up unexpectedly at my in-laws and dropped a bunch of stuff off for me to like deal with. Unexpectedly. So I dealt with, actually I went through all the bins yesterday, so I know kind of what's out there. For anyone who doesn't know, I am no contact with my parents, have been since 2017. I can't remember. And it doesn't really doesn't have much impact. But my dad did pass away at the end of January, so mom's downsizing. So my brother dropped all this stuff off as a favor to my mom. Anyway, yeah. Thanked my in-laws for not giving them our new address. All that. Anyway, so yeah, so I dealt with, yeah. It's a tough one, because it's like there's a lot of stuff in there that I have no sentimental attachment to a lot of it. So now I gotta decide how I proceed with it, because it has not been stored in necessarily the best fashion. So there has been, it either was in a like mouse area or it had mice in it. And so it's like, okay, A lot of it's just garbage too. It's just paperwork and like stuff that's not worth keeping. So, or like I've shifted. So there's some stuff that I'll sell. There is a lot of Barbie stuff, so that's good because the eldest is super into Barbies right now, so they can have that. I'm fine with that. Got to go in and figure out how to clean everything for the Barbies. That's probably the big thing. Okay, measure up. But yeah, like not a lot of sentimental stuff. And the one thing I really want is not there, so I'm very just proving my point over and over again. So, oh well. Yeah, so I really did mess up the welt pocket on this one because, again, this stabilizer is not supposed to be on the interior. It's supposed to be on the exterior. Lesson learned for next time. Okay. So we need to measure up from the left and right outside edges and make a small marking to note the measurement. Then lay the bottom edge of one wing at the mark. Okay. Clip in place both pieces. Base stitch in place with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay. Repeat for the remaining wing opposite side. Okay, so this has to be like this. This is facing out right now. Okay. So let's just, I'm not gonna make a mark. I'm just gonna go in. We raw dog this as much as we can. This is why we're only doing one of these right now. I've learned my lesson about that. And then we'll go in and we'll do something that I'm familiar with because, hi. I do think that these, again, are going to be fine. So far, so good. The big thing that I'm a little bit anxious about is they do require binding. This is not a turned pattern. This is bound pattern. So out of everything, that's what I'm actually most anxious about. I hate binding. But I also hated welt pockets when I started the minis. So, you know, you never know. Okay, so this is just supposed to be a basting stitch. Just a basting stitch. So it's just holding everything together. Basting stitches are typically important. Do I do them all the time? No. Do not follow my example. It's dumb sometimes. Most of the time it's dumb. Do the base stitch if the pattern calls for a basting stitch. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm your mother. No, I hate that. And I do not use that on my kids. Okay, now we sew. Oh, and then the zipper covers all the raw edges. Clever. Okay. Find the center of the zipper and make a tiny mark on both sides of the zipper tape to identify the center. Also find the top bottom centers of your side panel B. I love how these instructions actually just assume that you haven't there are no marks on the pattern and that you're just not going to transfer marks. Sure, I love it. Okay, our zipper pulls are not on yet. That's fine because the pattern hasn't called for zipper pulls yet. I just clipped the zipper there so that and everything is lined up so far. Yay, that's good. It's always a good sign. Okay, and then that is our zipper center. And we're gonna have to get the pins out. Damn pins. Okay. Just with the curved zippers, the clips go far, but okay. What's her next instruction before I trim or clip everything? Lay zipper right side up on top of and ensuring is centered. Clip in place and baste. Okay. And then we put the exterior with the handle on top, okay? And then sew along with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, okay? Because then it covers the base stitch and you don't have to take it out. At least I don't take mine out. And then it wants you to top stitch. And then do the other side. Okay, cool, that's straightforward enough. I've learned my lesson with curved zippers that you definitely pin, and then we're going to sew from the middle out on both sides because I find that is typically the easiest way to get this to lay flat. And honestly, that just laid itself right down there. Who's a good girl? I mean that in all senses of that word, whether you want to take that as it should actually be on OnlyFans or if you want to take that as like a dog in a field, both ways. And all the connotations in between. Oh my God, okay. Also, that was the one other thing, excuse me, about this like book was that it was like, oh God, I just want to, you know what? Yeah, it was like such a slow burn. And I was like, oh, this is not what I anticipated for this book. Do I just do it? I think we just do it. Fuck it, let's just do it. Okay, there's the center. Oh, shit. Do it at the proper stitch length, Katie. Considering how that zipper just like laid itself down on this side, I think we can just go in and sew it. Again, do I follow the basting instructions all of the time? Obviously not. Sometimes it makes sense. Like basting the sides in makes sense. I wouldn't want to have to deal with all those layers right now. And because everything, like if this zipper was fighting, it would make way more sense to do both sides separately. It's not fighting, so we're just going to roll with it. I am going to go a little bit off from the center there because the stitches, like it's fine, but the stitches were a bit longer, so we're going to double stitch over top of that here. Sweet, we're pretty golden, I think. Nice, okay. Okay, there we go. Moment of truth. Did it set in correctly? Fuck yeah, it did. I am going to run one more stitch and just make sure we're at the correct. We're going to go all the way around. I'm just going to make sure that we're at the correct seam allowance all the way around. Mostly because it's just, that is one thing that's easy to like not have happen when you're not basting it. Yeah, we're good. Sweet. There are a few places where that caught that a little bit better, then that's good. Okay, but we didn't, like, everything is caught, which is nice. And then I think she says to top stitch it after we do. Oh, she wants you to do the top stitch now and then the top, and then put the other side on. I guess that makes sense. So, we're supposed to iron this. We're not gonna iron it. The one thing I will look at, should I trim down those corners with the pinking shears? And honestly, I think we're laying well enough that I'm not going to worry about that. Wings have to be out of the way when we're top stitching, so we're going to shove everything out of the neck of the machine here for a moment. These are definitely going to look absolutely spectacular with Obi. Yeah, definitely a top priority here to get those into rotation as well. Oh, we did not. We need to get in a little bit on the side panel here just because the side panel wasn't lined up with its own interfacing. Otherwise, the other side's okay. Okay, we just gotta go a little bit deeper in on this side. La 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 la. La 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 la. That makes sense. I can see that. Actually, now that I look at it, let's go back down to construction length. One more time. 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 There we go. I've definitely been doing so many curves. Those belt bags are all curve zippers. So it was like, ooh, this is a lot of curve zippers to produce very rapidly. It was okay. They turned out fine, but I was like, oh, right. There is one bag that had to go into timeout, which honestly, given how many we produced over the last few weeks, I am pleased with. Because each day after Otafest, I came back and sewed. So Thursday night, I came back home and sewed. Friday night, I came back home and sewed. Saturday night. Yeah, so I can't remember what I was finishing up Thursday. I think it was the first round of belt bags. And then Friday night, I sewed the remainder of the belt bags that had been started. And then, Because here's the thing, I realistically only had one full work day before Odafest, and then setup was on Thursday. We had soccer that night, so that was also a disruption. And then Friday I came home and finished belt bags. And then Saturday I came home and finished up the like 4 mini traveler slings that were like almost done from Dawson Creek. So, all right, so far so good. The zipper's looking really good. Everything's laying very nicely. Now we'll go in and we do the other side. Now, does she? Okay, and she actually separates the zipper. Does she? Oh, first. Okay, so first she attaches the sides, and then she pulls apart the zipper. Okay, that makes sense. So. Okay, try and lay that as flat as we can get it again. And then, so they get attached to this, which means that I need to, wait, like that. There we go. Okay. I'm like, oh my God. The 3D part of my brain was just like, what do we do here? Holy fuck. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, okay. And again, we will base these on because I don't want to have to deal with sides along with everything else. We don't have to. Okay, and then, okay, everything's gonna line up, everything's gonna line up, everything's gonna line up. We're checking it once, checking it twice, gonna find out who's got fabric as a vice. There we go. Yeah. The infinitesimal little scooch to get it to like line up. Okay. Let's baste you on here. No back stitching because it's just basting it on. Okay, and then we're gonna turn. No, it just like wibble wobbled off. Okay. That would be one of the benefits of pins right now. Less wibbling and wobbling, but that's okay. We're good. We're good. There we go. And I know this is maybe not the fabric that most people would choose for one of these, but that's part of why I've also decided that I was going to experiment with this one. I tried to use the stuff that was popular, but not like super popular. Although honestly, I really, at this point, doesn't matter. We should just be using up all the fabric we have because it is time to go get more. I'm so ready to go to Japan. Well, okay, no. We do not want to be in Satan's asshole over the summer. And that is, honest to God, what Japan feels like sometimes in the summertime. I was in there, and okay, this is a repetitive story. So if you were here last year, you very likely heard this story. But when I went on exchange to Japan, yay me, I was there at the beginning of September, and I was anticipating that the weather would be very similar to Canada in September, which, like, not hot, not cold. No, it was freaking 36 degrees plus all the humidity in Osaka on my first weekend there. I got the worst burn of my life on that first 2 days in Osaka. Like, I still have skin damage. Like, I burn easier on my chest in that area that I burnt at that time to this day. So, the sun in Japan is no joke, A. B, if you are going even in September, you should take sunscreen. Because I didn't even pack sunscreen. I learned very rapidly what the vocabulary for sunscreen is in Japanese, which is hakedome. It's like sunstop. Which was told to me by another very kind foreigner, like foreign exchange student. And I learned my lesson. Always have sunscreen in Japan, especially in September. But it's like here, it's like you don't, Okay, since then, I definitely wear sunscreen in September more often, even in Canada. But at that time, I was mostly in classes, so you're not thinking about it. Oh, the luxuries of also not having an ozone hole over us right now. Thank fuck. All right. I think we're good. Don't want to over clip it or over pin it, so let's just get into it here. Line up. Could I do it by doing it in halves? Yes, 100%. Let's do that. Next time I'll actually clip it at the halfway point so this lines up better with the zipper. Okay, so far so good. Everything's coming together. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Mac and cheesy. I think that's Pandy from Gabby's Dollhouse that says that, because that's what the kids say. Mac and cheesy. Because they're always like, why do you say lemon squeezy? Well, because it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Although lemons are not that easy to squeeze, so I don't know why. Sounds like maybe it's some sort of company tagline, and it's just so in the social the zeitgeist, the social consciousness, kind of like how the Meow Mix song sounds like it's in the 70s or 80s, and it's no, this was from the mid 90s. Guess we were just watching a lot of TV in the mid 90s, maybe, who knows. Why do you keep slipping? I literally pinned you, jerk. Zipper here's no, I'm out of the office for today. I don't know. Didn't feel like it. Nope. And that clip's also see ya, lady. All right, here we go. It still smells like forest fire here, and I am not here for it right now. I just want to know where the smoke is coming from. I didn't see anything close to us, but that doesn't mean that there isn't something in the parks or something that hasn't been reported or hasn't been seen yet. I doubt it. Everyone's on pretty high alert, I think, especially after last year. But okay, since Curve Zippers and I have a history, we're just going to do this again. Why not? Make sure our seam allowance is the correct seam allowance. Yeah, sweet. Okay, there we go. I'm pretty sure we caught all the wing fabric. Pins. Just stab myself on pretty much everything. Oh, of course. Okay. Boom. So we've got a mini traveler sling on order. We have 3 kato on order. 2 of those kato being the bunnies, which I do know where the fabric is. And then 1 kato being the koi on navy, which I don't know where I put that fabric. I know I set it aside because I was like, oh, we're going to make a kato out of this later. And we've got enough, because I was also confirming that I even had enough. And now I'm like, where did it go? I'm like, oh God. So I emailed the customer. She's in Calgary. So I was like, so I told you I was going to work on it this month, and now I got to find the fabric. So basically my assumption is it's probably in this pile behind me, which you conveniently cannot see right now. Thank God. So basically we're just going to work through the whip pile and hopefully find it along the way. I would like to have it done for Stampede breakfast. That would make sense to me to have it done for that time period, but we'll see. Who knows? Okay, how are we doing here? Excellent. Oh, that both sides, just easy peasy installation. Excellent. Okay, zipper is in, folks. My God, that was good. Okay, now we got this nice round squarey-ish thing. One moment, Dahlia's doing something in the kids' room. Dahlia, what are you doing? Leave their paper alone, dude. Why are you being a jerk? Yeah, you. Get out of here. Okay. We have our oval. Now, center bottom stabilizer to bottom panel and iron. Find the centers of all 4 sides. Okay, so now we need to baste together the interior exterior This is what's going to be bound so that we can just plop everything together. Okay. That's like how it's like, find the centers. And it's like, well, just line up the thing. There. Okay. Ugh. And we're going to close the pins so that if we knock that bin over, it doesn't like explode pins all over my floor, because hi. We'll go to the seam allowance suggested and a long stitch length since we're just basting. Again, this is where I am going to follow these instructions because we do not want to be dealing with all these layers when we go to actually bind. And if they're already put together, then we at least have like one step partially taken care of. There. Now the nice thing about this in production sewing then is that we can do a lot of these steps all at once. Obviously we're not doing that today because we're just experimenting and playing around and, well, fucking around and figuring things out. Not finding out. We know that it'll be good. It's more figuring it out and what we need to do to make it work for me. All right. Turn side panel unit wrong side out. Okay. Match the center of the side panel unit with the center of one of the 4 sides of the bottom panel. Right sides. Oh God. Okay. Okay. So we're going to, there's the centers here. And then this is actually where that comes in. Required. So let's just do tiny little snippy snips here. Big enough that we can actually see it. And we'll snippy snip there, and then we'll do the other sides as well. Did I actually get, okay, at least on the lining side I can see it. Okay. Everything's all like, bunching up, lady. So it is a little bit loose probably, but that's okay. Learning bags. Okay, good, good. Good enough, maybe. Just gonna clip a little triangle on this side so that I know where the center is on the exterior. There we go. More intentional than any other like little deviations. There we go. Good. Okay. And then begin clipping together. Yeah. Okay. And repeat. Okay, the sides where the zipper tape is should just meet up in the middle. Okay. And then sew together, and then we do a bunch more work. Okay. Then we turn inside out, or right side out. Okay. All right, so these need to match up. Okay. Let's match up the sides here. Good, good, good. And we're gonna match up this here with, wait. Oh God, this is breaking my brain. All right. It can't be that hard, Katie. Oh, I see. Okay, so open it back up. Yep. It's just fabric. It's just fabric. It's just fabric. You're the boss of it. So fabric has a mind of its own. Shit. Okay, do you know what I could do? Is I could actually take a marker in here, an air erase marker, which is right here. Just like a little, yeah, marky poo here. Actually, yeah, let's do that for all 4 kind of corners or lineups. So yeah, so when I was exploring, so I explored a few places for wax canvas. I previously bought it from a Calgary fabric store called Fabric Depot last year when I was all gung-ho about making the wax canvas totes, which I am still gung-ho about. I just ran out of time on, like everything. Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. You shouldn't be surprised either. Anyway, but they still have some of the best prices for it, and it looks like good quality. honestly, I think they're probably buying it from the same supplier. That's like $15 more if I order online. So, but yeah, we'll try it for the backpack here and see, I guess. Make sure it sews well. I don't want to I didn't invest in a lot. I bought like 3 meters, 1 meter of like 3 colors each. So we'll play around with it and figure it out, I guess. Okay. I don't know if we'll be able to see these marks in a few minutes, but at least they're there for now. Peace of mind marks. Okay. So this and this need to be together. So like this. This is the part that's breaking my brain, is I'm not 100% sure how. Oh, I guess that's it right there. Okay. Leave that. That's how. Anyway, yeah, this portion is the part that broke my brain from the instructions and everything like that. So bear with me. We're heading into swear territory. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay. La 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 la. And then she's got very specific instructions with how the zippers are going to look to make sure that everything's coming together correctly. So you're ready to follow those instructions. This is where it's not a good idea to fuck around too much. All these layers have to come together. And she did say that we may need to clip some notches in the corners to make sure that the zippers line up correctly. Now, I think actually this is supposed to fold in. Oh shit, yeah, this is supposed to fold in. So the other way, and what I mean by that, so the binding is going to go into the interior. So let's flip this back out. There we go. Okay. And then we clip it here like this. So what I should have done is I should have done my markings on the exterior. So there's one of the learning curves. That's what we'll do next time. And these guys should not be running this way. They should be running this way. There we go. It's not like a super directional print and that they go up and down, but yeah, that makes more sense with how the exterior is currently running. No, you need to run. Oh no, that's right. Okay, yeah. Wait, no, it's not, is it? Holy fuck, my brain. Okay. No, that's right, because now I'm facing all of the, right? And then, oh my god, okay. Because, okay, so I'm going to sew it so that it's to the interior, because we're going to bind it to the interior. But at this point, okay. Yeah, at this point, if I were to turn it wrong side out, it wouldn't work. Oh my god. Okay, so how does she have it placed? Okay, so turn it. Yeah, so I've got it turned the right way, but this has to go in here. There we go. Like this. Right? No, it doesn't feel, okay. To the YouTubes. To the YouTubes. Step 13. La 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 la. Lining, slip pocket, divider, wings. Final construction, which didn't take me to the link. I thought it was linked to YouTube. Okay, well, YouTube. Zip and grip. Yay, it's right at the bottom of my search list. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so there's the tutorial. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm just going to watch it because I'm going to listen to it right now. I also don't want to like broadcast our video for you guys. If you want this pattern, it's from Sew Yours. There's this. Okay, so there's the wings. La 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 la. Okay, we got there. We got the zip. We got the zip installed. Good, 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 good. Everything's good. Everything's good. Okay. Okay, yep. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so she's got it. Yeah, so exterior or interior is out. Okay. And then, okay, and then it's going to be, okay. It's going to be this to this. Okay. So yeah, we definitely still need to like mark it differently next time so that I can actually see everything, but there it is. Okay, yeah, so that definitely broke my brain because this is not how I was trying to put it together earlier. Okay. First clip. Nope, play again, please. Thank you. Clippity clip. Turn and do the other side. Like this. Okay. Brains. And this is sometimes why it takes so long to get new products in store. Okay, next. Okay, so I bet you we're going to also then take this. Okay, and then she clips around. Okay. Oh God. Okay, but we're not trying to get the wing to attach. We're just trying to get the side panels to attach. Okay, that's an important distinction as well. So we want this to clip around here. Okay. I think I get it. I hope I get it. Oh, this is intimidating. I haven't had this much brain. Actually, no. I was going to say that I haven't had this much like brain shenaniganry since like the Kato. But even the Kato wasn't this bad. Okay, so this is why she says maybe you might need to snip a little bit into the corners there. So far, I think we're okay. I do need to make sure that that lining is aligned because it is not happy right now. Not too happy right now. Okay, I think we're good. I just gotta make sure it's like we're aligning the lining with the interior here because otherwise we're not gonna end up with lining on the interior and that would not be good. Okay, there we go. I think we're got the first corner, and then what we'll do is we are 100% going to use that whole sew from the center thing. Okay, we're ignoring the wing. Ignore the wing. Okay, all the clips. This is why we have like, you may think I'm crazy, but I have close to 500 clips. Because these are definitely going to be clip palooza. 500, probably closer to 600 to 800, but they break all the time too, so it's like, well. And this is a case where I do actually advocate that you just buy the cheap clips. Usually I'm all for supporting not cheap, or no, that's a lie. I support buying the cheap clips because they do break all the time, and you need so many of them. And I cannot justify Clover $1 per clip. Clover is amazing, don't get me wrong. But these are exactly the same outside of, and they even have the markings that Clover does. So, okay, there we go. So this is what she meant by that, is they should just be touching. And then we're still able to put on the zipper tab and everything. Okay. Now, you stay there, please. Let's do it from this side in. Minis are going to be like a breeze after this. We're going to kind of just ignore that corner. This is where the cylinder iron machine would shine. This is going to be painful to put through the flatbed here. Oof. It can be done. I know it can be done. I've done it. Well, I haven't done it with this sort of thing, but I've definitely done it. But yeah, this is definitely where something like a cylinder arm would shine. Although what I've been being tempted with right now is, so that rotary iron that I got for free just was too dirty, and it like did not rotary, which is the main key to it. It still heated up and everything, but it did not turn. And I'm not technically knowledgeable enough to figure out how to do it, so it's gone. But now I'm getting all the like advertisements for or Facebook, like, here, this has been added to Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, it would be nice. Okay, I think we're good. That looks correct. So that's how wide it's actually going to open up. Obviously going to close up and stuff like that. So let's just make sure that we're going. Wait, did it? Wild, it did not update my title. Okay, weird. Am I still live? Shit. Okay, good, we're still live. I'm like, did I get kicked off my stream again? Because that's been happening recently, I don't know why. Okay, we need to play you. Clippy, clippy, clip. Good, good. Yeah, we're looking good. And then you're going to go around and you're going to sew it. Okay. So. And what am I going to use for a seam allowance? I think this is just a basting allowance. Basting seam. Okay, sew together. Oh, really? No, we do a full sew. Okay, and we need to leave space. Okay, that's what she wants you to do. All right. And actually, I think in this case, what we're going to do is it's going to end up running along that stabilizer. So now the question becomes, do I want to try and get it in underneath the stabilizer or what? Yeah, whatever. Okay. But we do need to be like, she wants you to be like an inch from the zipper tape, which makes sense to me. So you need space to put the zipper pulls on. Zipper pull, however many you're using. Do you want to have 2 zipper pulls or 1 zipper pull with this? That becomes the question. Okay. All right, I was going to sew this from the center out, but hey, here we are. We're just going to go. Actually, considering that this is basically a flat bottom bag, this looks like it's actually going to come together pretty well. I'm currently very pleased. What I'll end up doing is I'll go back in and do another seam on the bottom just to make sure that the seam allowance is where it's supposed to be, because it's definitely not going to be all the way around here, and that's okay. But I can go back in and clean it up a little bit afterwards for sure. Okay, leave space for the zip pull. And she just wants you to skip over the zipper and do the exact same thing on the other side. I like it. Okay, so this is not as daunting as I thought it was going to be. This is where I was hesitating, was this construction right here of like, oh God. There's also a little bit of like, well, there's other makers in the area. I had other things on my plate when I first saw this pattern, and there's other makers in the area that make them, and they're super popular makes for them, so I didn't want to like step on anyone's toes either. I hate that when it happens to me, as if you've been following for a while, you know. But then I got the go ahead from one of the makers. She's like, no, just do it, because I could never keep up. And I'm like, all right, we'll do it then. Okay, so there's a couple of wrinkles there, which could be solved by probably sewing it from the other side, but that's okay. There. All right. I'm still quite pleased with that. So next time we will sew from the middle out, like I mentioned. That will prevent some of the creasing that has happened. Not that it's bad. I am going to go around and just do that 3/8 allowance all the way around, because it's definitely not at 3/8 all the way around. But that's okay. That's there's this is part of the learning, is like figuring out what's going to work the best for this situation. And apparently that corner is not it. There we go. You do not sew over your finger, Katie. The belt bags, because I have to use a zipper foot with the belt bags, actually ate my finger twice. I was very sad. It got me pretty bad both times too. Actually, the first time it didn't do too bad. The second time it definitely got me way worse, but that's probably because I was far more tired at that point as well. So there we go. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to be pleased with that amount of stuff and sundries. I am going to trim these corners with the pinking shears, so that when we go in to bind them, there's a little bit less to deal with. And just, that will help the bag actually lay better. Okay, what do you want next? La 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 la. Okay, what do you want me to do? Turn right side out. Okay, and then let's put the pocket facing away. I hope you can see the mistake I made. Oh, what the hell? This is what I was trying to avoid. So the exterior is this nice like line. The interior is, the seam is running to the exterior. What the fuck? A. And B, I definitely installed that upside down now. Yay. Shit. Well, okay. Let's see how it would look if I had actually done it correctly, because now I gotta go in and seam rip it, and it looks amazing. Okay, so how the fuck does the seam go in? Anyway, it looks really good. It's like actually coming together really well. But damn it. Yeah, and there's no redeeming that. It's like, if the seam was running on the correct side, I would probably just chill about it and be like, ha 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 ha, exterior or interior for the exterior. But the fact that the seam is on the outside does not work. God damn. That seam is supposed to be on the inside. So what the fuck did I do wrong? This is why I can't do this when the kids are home. Because even without the distraction of the kids, it's really hard. Okay, so why is this breaking my brain so much? And B, how do I not do the same mistake twice? I'm more concerned about the don't do the same mistake twice, because I don't want to have to install this bottom again. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, so A, this has to be flipped. B, we need these, like, look at that. I did a really good job of installation. It's a nice, smooth installation. Oh, except for that corner. But whatever, it's going to get bound. Holy fuck. Oh, and these sides are a little bit, but that's fine. Whatever. Obviously, I'm going to have to take it apart anyway. What's with all the trucks on Mondays? I don't get it. Okay. A, flip. B, okay. So the exterior has to be against the interior. Right side to, okay, exterior to interior. And exterior to interior. Fuck me. And then it has to be sewn from that side. Sewn from the interior with the exterior to the interior line. Now, because I double stitched it, I have to go through and unpick 2 lines of stitches. Am I upset? Yes, just a little bit. Actually, more than a little bit. Learning curves. Learning curves. That is actually the stitch line, right? Okay, yeah, it is. I'm going to actually seam rip it from this side, because this side I don't have to worry about seam ripping the hold together basting seam for the base that's in there. It's only 2 o'clock. We got time. How long? It's taken us an hour and a quarter to put this together. With some of the work having been done yesterday. But honestly, again, learning curve. So we'll get faster as we get these done. These are not a cheap bag, for sure. They're probably right at the limit of what I would consider feasible for the business. But I really wanted them, and I think it's a good shape to add in for what I are. Like, it melds well with what I currently carry, and I think the Obi are going to look fucking amazing in them. So That's why we will persevere. Now, if it proves to be too much as we produce more, well, we can always change my mind then. So, but for now, can't stop me now. Having such a good time. Having a ball. No, not really. I hate seam ripping. I also haven't broke one of my best seam rippers. Just like, wait, I thought I had like, I definitely had more, but they've all disappeared recently. So who knows where it went. So these are the crummy ones that like are functional, but they're not good. So my favorite one is still the loops and threads ones from Michael's right now. Not the cheap ones. Like I think in Canada they're $6 or $7, but like compared to this, they are far superior. Oh my God, don't rip the fabric. Thank you. That's the last thing I need is torn fabric and a seam ripper stab. Let's try not to stab my hand with the seam ripper. Thank you. Did I pull these stitches? Apparently I did not pull the top stitches, so that's why we're having a no fun party up here. There we go. La 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 la. There we go. La 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 la. Can I salvage this by just picking? No, I can't because it's all nice and smooth on this side. That's right. Okay. So, exterior to interior, sewn from the interior side. Oh yeah, I was like, wait, my brain just jumped to what I've been reading because I just finished Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen for book club. But the other one that I listened to recently that I actually really enjoyed was Letters to the Luminous Deep. And it's a sequel. It's also a duology. Letters to a Lonesome Shore. Very much enjoyed it. Was extremely glad that it was a finished duology. I did not realize that the first book was a first book and that it was a duology, even though Libby, which is where I borrowed it from, told me so. I obviously did not pay attention. But it was really good. I really enjoyed that. And then, yeah. So I did listen to the Letters to the Lonesome Shore on Audible, and I did the Letters to the Luminous Deep on Library Loan. I alternate all the time, so because I had an Audible credit, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. Part of it is also, it's like, so my process of elimination is look at the library first, and then look at Everand, which is my subscription service for like audiobook streaming, and then go to Audible. Audible's like the last choice. But Libby from my library didn't even have it yet, or at all, like on any of my library cards. And then Everand did not have it either, so I went with Audible because I wanted to listen to it ASAP because it was a cliffhanger. And I was not ready. I was not in it for a cliffhanger right now. Okay. And this is why stuff goes into timeout when we're in show production. It just does not happen sometimes. Seam ripping is sucky. I hate seam ripping. I hate seam ripping. Doon, 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 doon. I hate seam ripping. So do my bags. So do my bags. So do these bags. Ooh, it looks like I should almost be basting down the interior fabric. I think that would be more helpful than even basting down the... I wonder if she's got instructions to baste it down. I just completely blanked on it. That is 100% possible, and I would not put it past me to not have... I did read... I promise, I did actually read the pattern in its entirety for this one. But that doesn't mean that it went in or stuck. I've also watched the video for the whole construction of this. But obviously stuff just slips. I know it has been a while since I watched the video. Also, I do find that this pattern is strange because the majority of it is like, you do this, but watch the video so that you know. It's like, I am a visual learner, but I like having my pattern be the full pattern and then having video as the support, not be the main pattern. Unless that's what I'm signing up for. But when I purchase a PDF pattern, I'm expecting a PDF. Is it going to matter soon? No. We'll get this like figured out and it won't be an issue and you won't hear me cat problem that again. But for now, I am annoyed. Okay. Exterior to interior. Sewn from the interior. Exterior running up down because that's what these side panels go for. Exterior to interior. Sewn from the interior. Exterior to interior, sewn from the interior. Exterior to interior, sewn from the interior. Interior to exterior, sewn from the interior. No. No, no, no. That's not how this goes. Because now I would sew it around the exterior again. And we would not be fine. Okay. Okay, now that I know how this goes together. Okay, so... And that's how we did it last time. It didn't work. So I'm pretty sure what we need to do is it needs to be like this. And we need this facing this way. There we go. It's... I think. No, because then when you sew it, it's going to be that. God. No, because then when it... Yeah, okay, there we go. Right? No. Oh, my brain is broken. Okay, let me watch this video again. So it's like, so the interior should be facing out towards us. Oh. But then that puts it in my... What the hell, Katie? Why am I not understanding this? Okay, turn the side panel unit wrong side up. Let's go back to the instructions. Okay, wrong side out, which means interior side out. Oh, there's so much thread. Okay, done. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then you're supposed to clip right sides together. Here. Okay, so now, yeah, okay, so that will get sewn to the interior. This will get sewn to the interior. Okay. Next time, make the markings on the exterior, Katie, because then, yeah. Right? So now, and then when we sew around, okay. Okay. I don't know why my brain is just like, nope, 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 nope. Nope. Hey, and I see what's supposed to line up here. Excellent. Okay. There we go. It's a little like edge of this, I think, is supposed to line up here. And then there's supposed to be like this little like fold over of our zippy zip. Good. That feels right. And then when I go in to actually sew it, I'll shove those wings in so that I can actually sew it, because otherwise we're in trouble. Okay, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up that center mark with the center of that zipper, basically, is how I'm going to judge that, where it's going to go. I'm going to push that back in. There. Okay, and then because of how this is going, I think we're going to end up sewing it this side down. Just simply because it's mentally easier. At least I'm going to pretend that that's how it's easier. Okay. Line it up to the center of the zip teeth, zip teeth, zip teeth. Line up the center of the zipper with the center mark. That's not how she's got it written, but that's how my brain is working. Okay, and then next time, exterior gets the stabilizer. And we need to potentially baste the interior and exterior together before I sew. Actually, so yeah, we're gonna sew on the other side here. Okay, whatever. Mostly so that I make sure that I catch all this lining. Okay, we're going, whatever. All right, we do have a little bit less seam allowance this time, and that is fine. Hello, truck. Construction trucks are everywhere. La 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 la. Okay, fine. There we go. Okay, and then we want to be, she said, 1 inch from that edge. Okay, good, good, good. Everything's caught. Good. Okay, and then I'm going to sew out from the center here. We're going to flip it and sew out. Don't forget, we still have to bind this. Breaking my brain since 2025. I've definitely had other ones push my skill level like this, so it's like, it's good and bad. It's just, okay, it's not bad, it's just not fun. It's like, here, you really want this bag. Your skill level for a, it's not a simple bag. I'm not going to say it's simple, but it's definitely like, it's not overly complicated, and it's not like it has to fit anyone. Just my brain. My brain is like, yeah, today apparently. Maybe staying up till 3 a.m. reading was not, well, it wasn't a bad idea, but maybe sewing this after staying up until 3 a.m. last night is not the best idea. There we go. Let's go with that. I wanted to finish my book though. Okay, I was not intending to stay up that late. I thought that I only had like, I don't know, 2 hours left. I figured 1 a.m. or so, maybe even like 1:30. Nope, 3. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. But I'm done. So there's some sense of accomplishment with that too. I'm just like, all right, this book is done. So I will take that at the same time. Okay, that needed an extra. It wandered off there. So we're gonna throw an extra line in right here. And actually, since we're on this side, and this is the side that we need to do next, we're just gonna go all the way around and pretend that we're sewing from the center. Yay, yes. Look at us go. Flynn's like, yes, look at you go. I'm gonna get in the way now. Look at me. I'm a fluffy baby. Hi, Fluff Bib. Okay. Dude, you are extremely helpful. Very helpful. Well, I can't complain much. Okay, there we go. So just know, now the quality control inspector has deigned us with his presence. We should be okay. There's one slip there that needs to be caught. Okay. Yeah, that whole corner unit needs to be sewn down better. So let's get in there. I'm missing spots all over the place. Are we surprised? No, no, no. Or at least I'm not surprised. Again, learning curve bag. I was not expecting this one to be quite this difficult, but I also was not expecting it to come out like perfect the first time around either. Most of the time these things don't. So definitely a higher learning curve than expected. That's okay. Shit happens. Now, as long as, oh God, no, we haven't caught any fabric on any of the corners so far. Yay, excellent, fantastic. Let's do it from this side, because maybe that's part of it. It's just, gotta shove it under the machine in a different direction, maybe. Okay, now the one thing to make sure is that I am doing a different stitch line than I have previously. because that would be useful because doing the same stitch line is not going to work. For obvious reasons. You're not going to catch the fabric you missed if you do the same stitch line every time. Okay. Clippy clip. Clip off here. Good. Better? Almost completely better. Okay. What about the rest of them? We're missing up here. Okay. So I caught the interiors, but I have not caught... Oh my god, I haven't caught the exterior all along there. Okay. Sure. I really don't want to open it up because there's so much stitching there now. So let's just pretend that we did. And now we're going back in. Man, I installed this so much better the first time around. This is like not even seconds worthy right now because it's like got so much excess or so much fabric that hasn't been caught that it's like, all right, I don't even know if I can sell this, even as an imperfect bag. Did we get it that time? No, it's still there. Oh, fuck me. Okay, so we're okay. Did we get everything? Okay, that straight line needs to have it done. We're good. Yeah, so right here, right there, that's okay. That's easy enough to fix. Okay. And then we're going to cheat this corner, I think, just to make sure that it gets done. Okay. All right, get in there completely, please. Thank you. I don't even know how that's getting missed because it's not like we haven't, like, definitely a lot of seams here. There you go. Did I get it that? I better have fucking got it that time. Yes, finally. Okay. Okay. Thank God. So, sure I'm not missing any chat. Gonna trim it down here. If you're new here, hi, this is not abnormal, although this one is fighting me a lot harder than I thought it was going to. Is it surprising? No, this is, the bottom here is what I was most intimidated by. Am I worried about putting it into production? No. There are definitely some things. I'm gonna make sure that like things were cut properly, but just making sure that things are like super where they're supposed to be. No cutting corners, literally. Okay. Turn right side out with the lining pocket facing furthest from you. You'll add your zipper pull to the main zipper closure. Okay. We get to add the zipper now, folks. We're going to just do one on this one since it is going to end up being maybe for sale, maybe not for sale. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It is fucking adorable though. And the stabilizer works and it's still not caught on this goddamn corner. Oh my God. What the hell? Man, it went in so much better when I did it wrong. I should have just left it. But the problem was then I would have had to bind the exterior and that's definitely not the way you're supposed to do it. But I swear, the first time was like perfection. Now it's like, nyeh. Nyeh, 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 nyeh. Didn't get us the first time. Taunting us. Okay. Fuck. Okay. I think we're good. Are we good? Nope. Nope. Corner. Okay. Nope. I'm going to ignore it. Going into my stash. That's what's going to happen. It's just my stash. Which is fine. Okay. He wants me to do it this way. Farthest from you. Okay. We'll add the zipper pull. Okay. Also going to use a not traditional zipper pull for us. going to ignore the zipper jig unless it really fights me, but it shouldn't. These have gone on pretty easy. I used a lot of these ones for the belt bags recently, so. La 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 la. So what's on everyone's summer reading lists now? We're wrapping up with this Jensen duology, and then we're going the Fate of the Saga the Unfated, I think is the full duology title. And then we're going to go in and do, okay, well that at least is good. Everything matches up, and it's like the zipper is set in well. So that's nice. And I think in future I will do 2 zip pulls because I think that's just nicer on this style of bag. Okay. Yeah, and then next month we're going to be doing Something Wilder by Christine Lorne. And then Deep End by Allie Hazelwood. I've enjoyed everything I've read by Allie Hazelwood so far, so I did buy that already. The Something Wilder I'll listen to on Everand. What else? And then I think we decided in September, but I can't remember what it was. We'll be moving into a little bit more gothy vibes, I think. Halloween-y vibes. Etc. Okay, next turn the right side out and close the gap on the left-hand side with the same. Okay, trim down the zipper tape so it's even with the fabric. You may need to adjust the zipper tape so that the zipper teeth are not overlapping when you sew down as pictured. Okay. How was I supposed to? Okay, and then it wants me to do it on this side as well. And she does say that this is like one of the trickiest parts of the bag, although I think it's going to be okay. So you need to like flatten this out and not sew the wing. So that is the tricky part, is not sewing the wing. So she wants you to sew over both ends here. Sure, here we go. And then trim down the seam allowance. Okay, let's see here. Nope, that was not it. Okay, let's fold that wing back as far as we can get it. Yeah, there we go. I think we're good now. Just the tiniest bit right here. There we go. Yeah? Yes. Good, we got it. Okay. Trim it down. So it's like in line. There we go. Good. Then we got to do the same on this side. This one's a little bit less tricky because it's just easier. Should be less tricky. Who knows? I'd say that as like it still is fighting me. Oh my god, there's so many lands because of all the seams. Okay, I'm glad we're going to minis after this because I need some. I'll need some wins after this. I think this is just a really bad learning curve on this one for me. Which I kind of knew was going to happen. So I'm not daunted. I am a little bit discouraged, perhaps, right now. But that doesn't mean that this isn't going into production. So at least we'll try to get a few done. But yeah, it's definitely not a short bag to make either. So yay. Dude, what are you doing? Oh yeah, I just looked over and it's like the iron's on the ironing board. My iron completely cratered on me. Like, so it's been on its last legs and I've been discussing the fact that I need a new iron for like a few months now, right? But I thought I had a few more months. But no, it's like actually cracked in the water reservoir. So I'm like, no, that's too much of a risk. So off it goes. Yeah, I'm like, okay. So I did some research. I debated getting actually a gravity feed iron, but decided against it because a lot of people said that it's a game changer. But then some of the professionals said it's like, honestly, you may as well just spend like, instead of spending $150 on a gravity feed, just buy the like $50 Walmart iron. So I went with the heaviest iron that I could get from Walmart pretty much at a reasonable price, like $35 versus the first one I got. Oh shit, that sewed the wing. The first one I got was like $75 in person and then $50 online, so I returned it. And the second one that I was going to go get was like 50 in person and 35 online. So I definitely 100% ordered that online instead. But yeah, dropping the cost of the iron by 40 bucks was pretty nice. And here's the thing. It's not like I have a local iron store to like support either. I did look into getting a boiler feed one because they are like the pinnacle of professional irons. But unfortunately, they're like $1,200. And I'm like, there's other things we need to spend money on before we spend $1,200 on an iron. So that's why we're back to a home iron versus a commercial iron, basically, is the difference. So, all right, I'm going to do this right here. So yeah, that was the iron saga the last couple weeks here. Dead iron. That wing is not correctly placed at all. Shit. It like is actually going to be in the binding seam. Fuck. Because if I if I trim this down. Okay, so that tells me that this zipper might need to be shoved back a little bit then instead. Because that wing should not be in this seam allowance here. Okay. I do wonder if there's a little bit easier way to do this. But we'll figure that out. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do some YouTube searches tonight for tutorials on how to sew the zipping grip and how to sew the spring roll pouch, because that's kind of like the cousin to this one. Although apparently it is larger, so honestly that might be easy. I think this is the better size, but I bet you there's a few tips I probably could pick up from that at least. Even if they're not exactly the same. And I think Okla Roots, who I really enjoy the tutorials of, has a tutorial for the spring roll pouch. Okay, if it does not go well now, like if I can't get the zipper figured out, we are saying F it, and I'm going to go to the mini traveler slings because, like I said, I need some easy win now. This is a lot of seam ripping for me. I know there's more to come too. We could also do the wedge bags that I've got lined up for the obi, I guess, as well. That would be good. So what's next? Next is Stampede, and then Omatsuri, and then Vibrations, and then Knit City, and then Shindig in October. Okay, so let's shove this in line because I think that's what needed to happen more or less. Yeah, I trimmed that. I was a little bit zealous in trimming down that zipper here. Shit. Oh well. Live and learn. So yeah, these have to be kind of like shoved in here. And then we'll stitch all the way across that line because that is actually what's supposed to happen. And then we'll work on the other side, just making sure that it also gets stitched all the way down, actually. Now that I understand more of what's going on here. Totally ran out of bobbin thread. In the middle of that seam, of course. Wasn't even finished that seam, of course. I was supposed to take hamburger out because I was going to make a mushroom dish. Mushroom like hamburger lentil thing. Okay. Let's get you shoved in. Let's get you shoved in. Doon, 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 doon. Let's get you shoved in. Let's get you shoved in. Doon, 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 doon. Try not to catch the wing in this. Try not to catch the wing in this. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, there we go. I think that worked. And I don't know what's up with the thread now. Oh, my brain. Oh, my brain. Oh, my brain. My brain needed the vacation. Okay, I think we're just calling it good. Not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna go, and I 100% need to push this button. Oh, okay, we're good. And that did not catch that zipper end. Fuck me. And not in a good way. God damn. But at least it's in there now, and it's not going to be flippy flopping. Alright. This is how I end up with like bags that I like, but like don't adore. Okay. Now you're supposed to go in and bind the edges. Do I go in and bind the edges, or do I just say fuck it and don't bind the edges? Because honestly, I'm toast. If I don't bind the edges, I don't get the practice. Where did the binding tape go? I've got a beige binding tape. If I can't find the beige binding tape, then we're going to say fuck it. I could actually bind these with twill, now that I'm thinking about it. Why did I buy binding tape? Because realistically, the twill would work just as well, because it's like proper width, and you fold it under and you can go around. Right? Does that work? Yeah, that works, because it covers all. It's basically what you're doing. You're just covering all the seam allowances. When I find the other binding tape, we'll use it, but like this is got no polyester in it. I also have black binding tape, which is right there, but I don't feel like swapping my thread color, although it is for me, so really, who cares? I don't right now. Whatever, let's just bind with the twill. I think the binding tape might be cheaper. That might be part of it. Flynn, what are you doing? You don't need cheese grease, man. Now, the one thing that did get suggested to me is a little stapler, so you could like staple around the little edges. We're gonna try it without the stapler because I'm me, not because it's not good advice. And that will probably change with production sewing of these as well. But honestly, it seems like this is behaving pretty damn well right now, so we'll see. We'll see, folks. We'll definitely need more twill. Honestly, though, this is going together pretty well, because I was also like, well, you could use like grosgrain or something like that too, to be honest. Like, really. No, that is actually more expensive than the binding tape. That's why I didn't. A lot of people use fold over elastic as well, which is like really good. Whatever works for y'all. Right now, this binding tape definitely works for me. And again, because it's going to be my bag, who cares? Are we going to see the twill tape again? Who knows? I don't. Cat. Seriously. Stop. Oh, I need to call you fat and get more food. That's why you're down here licking my nacho bowl. And purring. Of course, this would end on the curve. Excellent. That's okay. Okay, so next time, make sure I start and finish the binding on one of the straightaways, Katie. Okay, I think this should work, but let's see. Let's see how much it slips. That's the big thing. And what we're going to do is, we're going to tack this down with a stitch first. And then I'm going to get one of my awls / stilettos, whatever the hell this one is. And aren't they both basically the same? And we're just gonna go for it. And we're gonna try and make sure that everything's like pulled in correctly here. Because this is also good, Flynn. It's also good practice for, oh my goodness, what are we gonna have to bind else? What else are we binding? That stitch and go case too. So, apparently last summer was dealing with welt pockets. This summer is dealing with binding, because here we are doing a crap ton of binding. Signing up to do a bunch of binding. Okay, I'm happy with this so far though. I think the key here is this stiletto. This was not a tool I had in my arsenal when I was considering doing more binding originally. I do also have a binding foot, which is not the worst thing, but it also really sucks to install because you have to swap out the feed dogs and everything. So we might do that, or we might just deal. Becomes, do we catch both sides of this without like, no, we did not. Most of it, yes, actually, surprisingly. Some of it, no. In the problem areas you would expect, yes. But actually, that didn't go too bad. So yes, we will be using the mini stapler in future. Since this is mine, whatever, I don't care right now. But yeah, we'll use the mini stapler for production. Because that will be faster than having to go back, and tidier than having to go back in and redo a bunch, basically. Yeah. I know that I said that this is mine, but I still want it finished. I hate raw edges. I think this twill tape is actually quite nice. I like the fact that it's cotton instead of like a poly cotton blend or polyester fully, which a lot of the tapes are, or nylon. There's something to be said for those fabrics, but most of the time I try to avoid them. Now I do use, obviously, interfacing that's polyester, but there's not much way around that, I don't think. Unless I was just to consistently use like cotton canvas or something, and that does not serve our purposes for everything. It's also significantly more expensive. But, okay. Blah, blah, blah. So many words to say. I'm not super pleased with this, but we're almost done. 2 hours. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, definitely massive learning curve for me. All right. She's cute though. She's got a lot of excess threads right now because hi. Okay, okay. Some uncaught corners here, but again, that's why it's just like, all right, into my stash, not someone else's. Highly imperfect. And that's fine. It's a first bag. Whew, especially with that much of a learning curve for me. Okay. Sure. Now we go in and we sew this in. Basically what I do in this case. Now, lots of times I rivet these, but these are large enough flaps that we're going to go in and sew them because I may as well. And yeah, it's giving me sew me in vibes for sure. But like on the necessary clutch wallet and stuff like that, I will typically just rivet these. But yeah, these ones will get sewn because there's lots of space on that flap to get my foot in. That's the main reason to not sew the other ones, is it's such a tight sew-in portion. Those will get singed down by a lighter on the ones that actually go for sale. We're going to do this, and we're going to go in, and we're going to pinch, and we're going to pull here, and we're going to align like this, and not that. There we go. Yeah, good. We're going to go in, and we're going to clamp it down. Reminder that the presser foot does act like a clip. So, Sometimes all you have to do is get under the presser foot and you're good. All right. Well, there she is. I like it. I think it's cute. It is a bag that I've had on the list for a while. Oh boy, this is a good reason to have two. That feels like it almost needs the twill there as well. Oh God, yeah. Definite learning curve. That handle is not well centered this time, but that's okay. She's cute though. Very sturdy, which is nice. That's part of what was the experiment was like, okay, does the stabilizer work for this? All that. Instead of like, I think the pattern calls for Decoville Light, but Decoville Light is restrictively expensive. So now if I got that out of my zipper there, we would have a better idea on how this is all together. Yeah, it's good enough. The next ones will be better for the failings of this one. Not even real failings. We still got a bag out of it. She's just not very pretty. Yeah, I don't know though if I like this. That is hard to close. So we might take the good old trick that I normally have and put a zipper tab, like pull tab right there, because like how do you close this unless you grab it there, and that impedes your zipper, so you have to grab the zipper instead. Yeah, I don't like that. No one else seems to be bothered by it though, so but maybe I'll add a pull, like a zipper, just a piece of twill there, just for this one, because oh okay, so how's it actually opening it? Okay, and then if I open it up all the way flat, there we go. How would closing it like this work? Does it work this way? Yeah, you have to like hold it against you in both directions. Cute little handle though. Feels good. I like it. We're gonna have to do another mock-up though for sure. I'm really mad that I put a logo on it when we're not gonna sell it. Oh well. I don't know if my skills are up to it yet. Okay, so that's something we're gonna have to think about. The other part of this is that my skills will never be up to it if I don't practice. So it's like, where are we at? 3 o'clock. Okay. Well then, we are gonna go in, and like I said, we're gonna have some easy wins here, hopefully. Look at everything else fight me ridiculously. Because actually, could do scrunchies, or we could do mini traveler slings. Mini traveler slings do sell better than scrunchies, so let's do minis. I do have a whole stack of, I've just got a whole stack of everything to do though, so saying that I have a whole stack of scrunchies really doesn't tell us much. Outside of that, of the fact that I do actually have a whole stack of minis to do. Where's my snap bin? Or not minis, scrunchies, both. Oh, we've got both. That has all of my metals in it right now. All right, there we go. And the pattern thing I had. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm like, don't have a neck spasm this year, but I do think there's a muscle like spasm underneath my shoulder. Because my God, is it sore right now? And it's been sticking around for a few days, even through like massage and like everything else. So self-massage. I should go actually see a massage therapist maybe. Could probably help. Okay. We need this piece because that's the piece that tells us how to get or where to put it on the pocket, which is the side that we sew with the box and trim down afterwards. Okay, speaking of that, we're gonna stretch. I go to physio today because I want to really get back into strength training for the running, but I need to also do core work. And part of the issue is that having had the 2 babies, my pelvic floor is quite tight, and I do have like not a significant amount of ab separation, but right on the edge of we may need to discuss surgery ab separation. So yeah, we're gonna work on that. It's like she said it's about 3 fingers wide, and it's like that's right on the edge of like, okay, more discussions are needed about like ensuring that there is no progression of this and stuff like that. So it's like, yay, exactly what I wanted to hear today. But, oh well. Okay. So we have a whole bin of minis to do here. We are not going to do the Shiba Inu right now because they have not been selling. We're going to focus in on everything else and go from there. So the first things first, I guess, what we need to do is we need to find all the pieces and then find the... Okay, yeah, because the pink one just sold at Odafest, so we're going to ignore it for now. Okay, what do I have in here? What do we need to do? We need to sew the bottoms to the thing, and then we need to go from there. Okay. Okay, so these are all the... It's like something still smells like burning. It's all good. Okay, there's the bottoms and the tops. Bottoms and the tops. Bottoms and the tops. Hi-ho the dairy, bottoms and the tops. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, we're just going to pull out whatever we have in here that's like clipped and ready. This is all the like pocket fabric and everything like that. That looks like it was the majority of it at least. Ugh. Okay. There we go. Just gonna make sure I'm not missing anything important. I don't think I am. Okay, cool. Nothing that needs my attention. Good. All right. Strawberries, which I haven't been selling well, but it's okay. Those ones are a little bit different strawberries, so who knows? Okay, cranes. Got a crap ton of zippers in here. I don't know where they're all supposed to go, but you know. Hey, that's what we needed. All right, Sushi Neko ended up being put together upside down. Or it got cut upside down, which is always fun. That's sarcasm, by the way. This one sold instantly, so we'll definitely finish it up right away. These guys, these are all new fabrics. We got zippers that need to be matched up here soon. Okay. I think that's good. It's also going to be good to like clear out this bin because it's one less thing to have to deal with. I think. I don't even know what's in here really. What are you supposed to be? Oh, you're a lot of those little purses. I don't think we're going to pursue too much further. Okay. All right, and then this was... Okay, this is the Shiba Inus. We're ignoring them right now. They're not popular enough to worry about. And we are going to need to go in and do a bunch of ironing on of the labels. And as I say that, I really need to pee. So I'll be right back. All right. I have returned. I realized I could actually like magnetize my mic to the sewing machine, so perfect. Let's get it back on, however. Yeah, there we go. Secure it, secure. Oh, okay. Let's just disassociate for a moment here. Ooh. Ooh. Big old dump truck gets stopped right behind the house. Oh, they're letting someone pass. Okay. It was like, but it was struggling. I was like, are you breaking down like right outside my window? Oh no. Okay. Let's start with the fishy fish because it is right here. And I've got everything for it right here. We will need to go in and cut all of the those things, the bases here as well. I definitely have not done that yet, but you know what? That can be a future Katie problem. Not bases, like straps is what I meant by that. What is the seam allowance on this? Like switching gears here, and I don't even know what I'm switching them to. Let's find out. Like, what am I doing? La 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 la. La 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 la. I need to find the pattern. There it is. Traveler. PDF. It's like, you have photos. Would you like the photos? And I'm like, no. Oh my goodness. Okay, mini. Nope. There it is. What is it? Oh, I spelled traveler with 2 L's, not 1 L. Okay. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ooh. Very generous emotes. Okay. Let's get to it. Actually, I was thinking it was a more generous seam allowance, but it's fine. Whatever, I really don't care. Okay, no, never mind. I'm like, that's not actually got the piece I need. Okay, but the Merlot cats right here does. I'm gonna go with this. And this. How did I leave so many of these on the table? My God. We would have made a killing with more minis at Otafest. So the new trajectory for everything this year, the plan already was to be prepping for, okay, back up. I am debating whether I should apply for Calgary Expo. I think I will. I'm like, Dawson's really good, but I do need to see, I think it's better for my business potentially to do Calgary Expo, especially seeing how I did do at Otafest. I did very well, or well enough with the learning curve that I had for a 3-day show. And I think that there is a massive potential to grow at Expo. Just sheer foot traffic, right? So there's that. However, it is the same weekend as Dawson Creek, so I am hemming and hawing a little bit, but I do think at least I'm going to apply and see what happens, sort of thing. But the current trajectory then, and is currently also going to be, okay, why do I have these ones here? Whatever, we'll set them aside because I'm sure someone's missing their pieces then. Yeah, so the trajectory now then is that we're going to end up being in Japan in February. So I'm going to prep for anything that I am doing in February and May, or like April through May, for the for the Fibre shows, and then post Japan, I'll go in and I'll prep and sew for anything that's not Fibre related. At least that's my thought process currently. So we'll see if that's what actually happens. But I think it's a good thought process. It's not the worst one I've ever had. And that's for damn sure. Doom. 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 Okay, so what we're doing right now is we have to go in and we have to sew all these bases to these mini traveler slings. Why did I pick this as the first whip to do? It's kind of like, well, why not? At this point, you've got a base, and you're spares right now. I think you're actually supposed to be with these guys back here. If I need more, and then you just chill out there until we figure out where your pieces are. Same with you. You have already been sewn. At least your base has already been sewn. So let's move your piece over here. There we go. Or back up here, sorry. Up here, you're going to need an off-white zipper, which is conveniently still on my sewing desk. Okay, and then these are the dark pieces that are extra right now, i.e. I just don't know where they match right now. Okay. This is like the worst portion of this sewing right now, is like figuring out, actually, well, after this point, it'll be figuring out which ones have which denims. Right now it's not too bad because they're all clipped together. But once we start disassembling these packages, it's like, which denim do we have on the front? Which denim do we have on the back? Oh! Okay. That needs its denim still. Oh, lovely. Okay. I was like, okay, I see the base for the kitty cats, which means that I can unclip this here and move it over here with no qualms. And then we can just sew this. Excellent. Because it's already got everything together. Okay, owls. I do not have any base for owls. Okay. Do I have the base for you? Yes, and I actually have the bottom piece for you too. Let's see if we can find the top piece so that we can not have to like make any guesses about this later. Do I have the top piece? Okay, there's another piece of Scally Owlies. Florals. I've already decided we're not doing the Shiba Inu because they're not selling very well. I will do them when they're all gone, sort of thing. Okay, there's a bottom, there's a top. Bottoms. Those are all bottoms. There is the... Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate them out based on their packaging. Okay, so there's all the pieces for those two. Okay, so those are ready to go. We've got owls that don't have any base pieces. Excellent. We need this piece here for this one. The upper for it, so I don't move it somewhere it's not supposed to be, or like lose track of the rest of its pieces right now. Where is the other piece of quilt cats? Where's the other piece of quilt cats? God fucking damn it, it's really disappeared. Okay, well, we'll pop it over there into a little bit more no man's land. Yay! That might actually go with the light blue quite well. Do I have strawberry pieces altogether? Strawberries, because there's the whole package, but I need its lower piece, which I don't see any other free-floating lower pieces right now. Okay, sure. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means that I don't have it right now, right in front of me. Here is, okay, there's Geisha. which need a package, but we'll cross that bridge here in a minute probably. Here is jammy things and macaron critters, which I do not see the bottom piece for right now either. Okay, but at least I can do the jammy tart cats. Okay, and then we're gonna, do you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the macaron critters out. We're gonna pop it over there because I actually don't have any other pieces right now. Ah, shit. Shitty. Okay, oh, but we have, no, we don't have extras right now. Although we do kind of have extras because they're not like, we don't have all the pieces right now. Okay. Okay, so you're here kind of. You just don't have a top for your front exterior, which this doesn't have a bottom. So let's actually swap out the denim that's going with this. There we go. There we go. And you can get in here. So that looks fine. It was just mostly to create the contrast. Actually, I think that's this. Yeah, that's the same fabric. Okay, so we'll just, there's a bunch of backs. So it's probably that they've got like a bunch of cuts somewhere for, okay, there. Okay, and then what's this? This has got all its bits and bobs here. Look. Okay. All its bits and bobs go there. 1, 2. What are you? You have a navy zipper, and that's it. And then the owls here. We got the brown owls, but we don't have the teal owls. Yay! Okay. Pretty sure this strawberry cat's supposed to go here. How are we missing so many fucking pieces? There's a back too. Oh right, we can't use that one because it's got a big hole in the side of it. Okay. Like, did I? Well, okay. Well, we'll work with what we got for now, I guess. That's the worst plan. Working with what you got. Ugh. Okay. Cats. Whiskers on gold. And there's the pieces there. Okay. I see the polar bears here. It does not have any other denim with it. Okay, purple, floral storm. Doesn't have anything. Let's actually do this with this macaron critter package because that'll look good together. Yeah, that's a good contrast with that. Good enough. Okay, all those pieces go over there for now. Cool. Okay, and then that goes over here. We do have the top and bottom for this. We do not have it for the Merlot cat, which is annoying. Okay. Pretty sure these black zippers are supposed to be here for the Myco somewhere. I really want to make the parasols, so if we don't have the pieces for Merlot cat, we're going to put the parasol with it instead. I think was the original intention anyway. And then there's that, that's the zipper and everything. And that's supposed to have this white, it's gold, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and then we've got bunny here. What else do we have here? We just have bunny, And then probably Oh, no, bunny and dogs, and I do not have either of those pieces to complete that. And we're going to go with this piece for the purple here because we have all the pieces for it. Okay. And for this one, we'll put the black here. All right, so we do have a significant number of missing parts here. I do not, like I said, I do not know how. They have not left this room. Maybe they're over in the box that these were kind of stored in as I was doing cutting and stuff. Who knows? We'll figure it out later. I'm very annoyed. I'm tired, so that's why it doesn't sound like I'm annoyed, but I am very annoyed with myself, with the general process that I have to go through to do this. Some days. All right, back into the bin, but we do have a significant number here and ready to go, which is also nice, so I don't know what to tell you. Okay, and we're all back there if I need any bits and bobs from them. So let's go in and finish what we have. How many do we have? Quite a few. Okay. I have a feeling as we finish up a lot of these, it'll end up happening that they'll end up being, we'll just find pieces as we go because they're probably in the whip bins back here, but I guess we'll find out. I thought when I went upstairs it was closer to like, I thought it was actually closer to 4, but I was quite happy to see that it wasn't even quite 3. Like it's just turned 3 o'clock basically. That's good. We got just under 2 hours until I gotta go get kiddos. Oh, I forgot to take hamburger out. I'm supposed to take hamburger out for dinner. Well, I'll do it before I leave and then it'll all be fine. Always is. Well, not always, but majority of the time it's fine. Okay, so we'll do all the chain piecing for this, and then we'll figure out how many labels we need to put on. And probably also what we need to do for straps as well, because we'll need to cut a bunch of straps. Probably going to need to consider getting more webbing again. Oh, shoot. Oh, no, it's down here. Okay, I've got one more roll of webbing. Black and natural colored. So it should be good for this round, but then we'll have to consider it after this round sort of thing. And then, yeah. All right, where's your bits and pieces? Thank you. Oh, there's the top. There's the geisha. Okay, I just had already set it aside. So we'll reassemble that package. Oh, no, they're over here. So it was one of the other ones that was missing then. Okay. You need the base. Thank you. So I found out that these guys are actually like in English nicknamed snow fairies. I can't remember what they were in Japanese, but I watched a whole video about them and now all that information is just gone poof. Surprise. But yeah, in English their nickname is snow fairy, which I prefer a lot compared to long-tailed tit. Because I can't say that without just losing it inside, that's for sure. Either way, they are adorable. Adorable. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. I think I might have, nope. It's like, I think I might have 15 prepped, but I definitely do not. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 11 so far. Okay. Better than nothing, but definitely, oh yeah, I need to talk to my brother-in-law to get more done. I think I figured out that I can get something like 21 or something like that across a strip. 20, because it's a 20-inch wide strip of interfacing basically. So now I gotta find the interfacing for this next round. And then we'll run it all under the press here in a few minutes once it warms up, I guess. Oh my goodness, my back hurts. Okay, let's see if I can find the interfacing. Okay, good. Interfacing here for the labels. It's definitely paper to recycle. It's just white fabric. And then, yeah, actually, so today we'll do some work on the minis, and then over this week, maybe. Dallas is home, so I don't know what my schedule is really looking like right now. And since I'm kind of in that, like, a little bit of a downswing period, I don't have to be, like, super, like, rah! But I do want to work on the backpack, so. Which, given the experience that I have with the Kato, shouldn't be an issue. Hopefully. All right, so let's get, I'm going to step off camera here and we're going to do the labels here first. And then I'll come back and we'll trim them down. And then we'll do, yeah, and then we'll do more. Sorry, I'm toast today apparently. Holy crap. Okay, I'm going to plug the iron in so that it starts warming up. And then we can just press them right away. And then I'll warm up the steam press after we have everything prepped to press onto that other thing. Now, so I'm just using Heat and Bond because it's double-sided. Last few times that I've done is I've like lined them up and then flipped them over for the interfacing. This time what I'm doing is I'm going to line them up right side down and then pull the interfacing across to trim them down. So that should make it a little bit easier. Honestly, I probably should just, what we're going to do, we're going to line these all up and I'm going to do as many as I can just to have a giant sheet of them interfaced at least at one time. And then I'll trim them down as needed, sort of thing. I think that'll work. Yeah, but I definitely, looking at the stash, my brother-in-law the other day was like, are you going to need more soon? And I'm like, yes, no. I need to go get more leather. Although he did say that he had some left, so that's good. But yes, now that I'm like back into, or starting back into prep, it's like, yeah, it's probably time to have some lined up at least. Okay, is that going to work? With one more right here. Yes, okay, cool. So it's like 2, 4, and sorry this is happening off camera, but I just, moving the webcam around for something that is like temporary, such as like this. If we were doing a full day of cutting or something like that, I would 100% move you. But I am literally just going to iron these and get back to the table. So you can listen to me ramble on here as I do all this. I love how I started counting them and then totally lost track already. La 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 la. Gonna ignore that. Gonna ignore that. I'm tired. I thought that I was over. Well, I think I'm over the fatigue of the recovery for the half, but I think I'm probably still have quite a bit of like. Wow, okay, never mind. I stayed up until 3 a.m. I don't know why I'm talking like it's the half marathon still. This past week, it's definitely been the half, but like, shouldn't be now. Also, I do need to probably prep some more of the snap stabilizers as well. That can happen later, hopefully. Might have enough for now anyway, so. I'm going to go with the blissful ignorance assumption that I have enough, given that it looks like there's enough. How many bags did I count? 15 or something? Which means I do really need to cut more of them as well here coming up as too, so. Yay! Lifestyle bag time. Okay, I do hope that this actually works because it'd be nice to just kind of, ooh, and then I could pull, yep, this should work because what I can do now is I can just pull the interfacing over top. Don't even really need to trim it down until they're actually interfaced and then trim it down after I've run the iron over everything. And yes, I'm putting them as tight as possible because realistically I don't need a lot of space. As long as they don't overlap, we're good. I say as I shuffle one because it's overlapped. Okay, I think I can do one more row, and then there might be a few that don't have any interfacing on them, and that's fine. Like really, it's okay. But the majority of them will be interfaced, at least. Hopefully. Okay, so we're gonna have 4 rows. How many are per row? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So we'll have 80 ready to go. And, well, or at least we'll have 80 interface. That doesn't mean that I'm going to trim them all down today. Hail to the no. I'm going to trim down what we need for today. Because I would like to get these interfaced before I have to go pick up my children. And what I mean by that is I would like to get these onto the bags before I go pick up my children. That's what I mean by the interfacing needing to be done. All right, here we go. Oh, that did actually go on way better than with the old iron. This new iron, however, does stink right now because it's still in its like workout period of like, I just came from the factory. Smell me. Okay, I've got my like itty bitty snips. I should grab my shears, but whatever. There we go. That's a better rollout here. There we go. Okay, a few of those at the end need to be repressed again. We don't actually need steam, so I'm going to turn it off of the steam. A couple at the end here need a little bit better. More time. Go. Basically what you're doing is you're just, so you're adhering the interfacing, which means you're like, basically melting the glue into the actual like label. So that's what you're doing with the fabrics when you're doing this as well, as you're putting the, like melting the glue into the fabric. So, all right, so here's my nice sheet. 2 left over. Means we have 82 right now, plus a few here. And okay, so how many do I need? 15 or something like that. There's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so we need 15. I have 11, so we're just going to trim 4 out of the sheet. It's just wind, okay. It's like, is it raining outside? But no, it's just wind. So this is what I mean by they're like in there tight. Really, I should have an X-Acto knife for this. But you don't. At least I'm not going to use one at the sewing table, so maybe in future. For now, itty bitty snips. Okay. Others are going to go back in there for now. Now, typically what I would do is I would trim down into like the individual pieces at least. But we're not doing that today. Hell no. All right. Let's see if it's faster to trim them like en masse or not. And actually what I'm going to do for you guys is I will zoom in so that you can actually see what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, shit. That's not good. Received a message from my youngest. Oh, okay. Oops, that's not good. Okay, so we're trimming down the labels. Trimming down some labels. And then I'm gonna disappear for a little bit and we will put it, move them to, where I'm just gonna move to the steam press and press these to the minis that we're working on right now. Like, what are we working on right now? Brains. I should be working on my brain, but apparently today is not that day. All right, 1 ready to go. I know this is terrible posture, but it feels good. And of course, they all went in the garbage. Excellent. So part of why I've started going to interfacing for these is that then we don't have as much glue splurk. Basically, it's actually an easier and more consistent application. I don't have to worry about glue getting escaping the edges of the label like we did before. My brother-in-law can cut these for me, so I've been able to outsource the label or the labor instead of me having to do the branding and stuff like that. So that's been nice as well. I am going to see on the next round if you can cut them with the interfacing. I don't know if it would melt. Might melt, right? But it might just melt right at the very edge, which really, whatever, as long as it's mostly adhered. And then, of course, we can always still add glue to the back of any of these if we need to as well. So, I'm not actually worried about if they don't adhere correctly or not. Or perfectly. They need to adhere correctly, but if they don't do it perfectly, we can always add glue. So, because I did have one or two of those like that when I was doing the belt bags because the obi was too thick. And these did also, again, have another learning curve in that, like, I have to apply them now. I cannot wait to apply them until at the end because the thicknesses of the fabric, even though they're quilt cottons, is too much for the heat to actually properly penetrate and adhere this to the denim. So that's why, even though I want to be sewing, we are currently trimming out labels to adhere to the minis. Learning curves. Always something new here. Almost always something new here. So I am excited for that backpack pattern, and honestly, if I end up with enough energy, I might come down and try and sew it tonight. It is raining. Is it raining? It smells like rain. It doesn't look like rain. Well, like it looks like rain, but like I don't see rain. There we go. Definitely smells like it though. It would be good. Our grass needs more. Well, we just need more rain in general down here. Although I know Manitoba and Saskatchewan also need a lot of rain, so let's send everyone some rain right now. Not so much that you flood, just enough that like our fire risk is lower, please. Thank you. At least it doesn't smell like smoke anymore. That's good. Sorry, apparently I got super into the cutting of the labels and just was like, la la la, silence. Anyway, we're almost there. Got 5 left. So these are 2/3 through. I'm gonna start running again on Wednesday. I am both excited and meh about that. So, yay. But onwards, I'll be running a 10K on July 6th. And then I'll be doing, there's a bunch of stuff I'll be doing. Well, actually not that much. 10K on July 6th. And then beginning of September, I'll be running Canmore 5K because it's so flat. And then I want to do, or I'm signed up for the Red Deer Halloween half, and that's what I'm going to technically be training for. But I'll be doing some speed work for this 10K as well as a lot of zone 2 easy running. The slogging. The slog jog. My zone 2 training is like, it's super slow. So there'll be a lot of that this summer. Zone 2 and speed work. Then I don't think the half marathon training starts right away, which is fine because I needed this recovery period. I tried to want it to train for road race, but it was like too close. So all right, there we go. Now we're also going to, I'm just going to peel all the paper here instead of having to peel it when I'm over at the steam press, because there's no point in keeping paper on right now. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. also think, so this is, like nearly positive that this is A, cheaper, B, 100% positive it's less messy because, again, then you don't have to like glue splurk outside of the edges and gain all over my hands and everything, which probably actually makes this a safer product for me to work with because I'm not consistently introducing those chemicals to my hands. Not that I believe that all chemicals are bad, but you know, a reduction of chemical contact is never a bad thing. Gotta save that for the hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over. These will all get top stitched after this. Actually, or should I top stitch it now? Actually, yeah, we'll sit down and top stitch it now. Because then... woo! That's very close. I will back it out a little bit from there, but anyway. That needs to be dark. That needs to be dark. This can be light. Doom, doom, doom. All right. So this is chain piecing, which means you basically just shove one piece in after another. Saves you on thread and time. Mostly thread. But I do find that it also saves on time just because you're not having to like... trimming the thread doesn't take as long as like everything else. Although that, I think, snapped. That is the one thing is it can cause casualties of the bobbin thread. Did we want... oh, I did not start winding the next one, so we should do that here. Suddenly like quiet. Oh, that's been, wow, okay. I was like, not that's been very loud today. No, that's a lie, given all the trucks that have been roaring up and down this street today. Alright, so there's all of the white top stitching done. Now we'll pop the black thread in and do it right away. Again, I hate having to swap threads, but you know, do what you must. Majority of these will be white thread at least though, so that's good. And then we'll have to swap back to black thread for top stitching. So, man, those are a lot nicer than the little snips. Oh. Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, there's a good number to do black thread on. Yeah, other thing we should finish up is actually the trays as well. They're in a little bit of limbo. They're mostly done, but yeah, actually no. We'll get the minis done and then we'll do the trays. That's fine. Where did my snips go? They were right here. Did I throw them in the drawer when I took these guys out? I did. Look at that. So I did add this already to the videos I talk about in the live stream, but I actually saw a really good explanation for how a sewing machine works the other day and how we got here as well for like various things, like the fact that like even the needle design had to change for the sewing machine and everything like that. So definitely worth a watch. It's by Veritasium or Veritasium. And I like a lot of their videos anyway, and this one is far less existential than most of their creations. I have to be really careful about which ones I watch right now, because I'm just like, oh god. Panic at the hot house. Alright. There we go, there we go. Doom, 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 doom. All right, I'm going to go warm up the steam press, and we are going to do the stuff, which is adhering all of these labels. Adhering the labels. Adhering the labels. Okay. Got everything. Also gonna bring my caffeinated drink. Caffeinated drink. Caffeinated drink. Ugh, I did have a snack when I was upstairs, but I'm actually kind of want another. I'm like, what did I have? And I'm like, I know I ate something, but I had an orange, which, although healthy because it is a fruit serving, it's not necessarily the most satisfactory. But I was a little bit like, I need to get some extra fiber today because fiber is good. Good, good, good. Good for your gut. Okay, what I would really love is if I can actually get these all pressed on at once. So that's what we're going to try for. If I don't, well, sucks to be me, but cat problems. Just small cat problems. Debating if I should take the kids to the zoo tomorrow or not, because I've also got soccer tomorrow night. Although honestly, then they would fall asleep really fast. We might go to the zoo tomorrow just for that reason. Oh yeah, we're definitely not getting all of these on at once. Alrighty. The one thing I wish the steam press would do would be to beep when it's actually like heated up, because it does always, because it's a larger sole plate. It obviously takes longer than like a domestic iron. But I just wish it would tell me when it was done. Da, 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 da. We're still here. Mic has not gone silent, hopefully. Hopefully it hasn't run out of battery. Oh no, I still see it pinging back and forth over there, so we're good. Get the last of these on here, and then we'll come back. And what's the next step? I guess the next step is actually starting to add the zipper in the pockets. So these will crank along pretty decent. I should... Well, no, actually, I was like, I should be doing the welt pockets because then I can cut them down upstairs. But no, actually, this is good because this will determine the whole color scheme with the zippers and everything like that. I'm like, there's a reason why we do this first. But between, yeah, zippers and denim and just making sure everything's kind of like matchy where it's supposed to be. Obviously putting those packages back together because apparently there's some sort of disaster happening there. Who knows? So all that Jay is. I really should have had another pot of coffee. What time is it? Oh yeah, that's 3:45. It's too late now. Well, maybe I will just sleep tonight instead. Yeah, because I was going to come down and do backpack, but honestly, let's tidy up and take the kids to the zoo tomorrow, I think. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, do you not have water in you? Damn it, you do need water for this. Oh boy. Water's right here. Water's right here. Water's right here. Now this is something that I probably could drag over and actually do over there. But it's conveniently plugged into the wall right here, so I'm not going to do that. So like looking at this shelf and wondering if I need to keep it here or if I can like take stuff off of it. I do need to still figure out a way to store bags down here because like I removed my inventory storage which is fine, but I can't keep storing it in the garage this year. So I do need to figure out a better solution than that, at least. Not that this bookshelf has any bearing on that, but if I move the bookshelf, then the whole iron, like the steam press, could move over a little bit, which would not be the worst thing. Steamy glasses. Now I can't see. Whew. All right. Let's see how that did. Hopefully it did good. Okay. Do the rub down, because honestly that does help it adhere. A rub down and a cool down, realistically, because obviously you can't have a solid adherence if it doesn't, like if it's too hot. No, I think most of these need another run through. That's fine. That one does for sure. That one does not. Does the butterflies? Nope, butterflies are good. Good. Koi. It's got one of the thinner denims, so it should be good. We're good. Merlot cats. Went on crooked, damn it. Can I peel it and redo it? Oh, maybe. Let's see. We might need more interfacing, but we will try to do that. Okay. You have to lay it the other way. Okay, patchwork cat's good now. It was not good when I first took it off. Okay, stars are good. Black cats with bouquets. Parasols, yeah, we're all good so far except for these two that are currently here. One because of the crookedness, one because it actually needs to be pressed again. Let's try this again. A little bit too close to the wall. Whoops. Just like stonked it. Okay, rubby rub. Rubber, 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 rub. How are we doing? Pretty good. Rub, 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 rub. I think probably good enough. Good enough. I'm happy with that. Okay. Boop. Okay, the Merlot cats needs one more press. Not surprising since the interfacing was like already in the fabric. We'll press it again and then we'll give it a good cool down on the cutting table here and see if that works. And if not, we will go in and put some glue on it later. Good old manual press here with the hand, just to kind of like, basically why I do that is then it helps just squish the glue into the fibers is what I figure. Honestly, something heavy on here would probably help too. Throw a washer and the hand iron on there, I guess will work. It's pretty heavy. It's not unheavy. No lightweight. Okay, we got the polar bear here. Go camping polar bear. Okay, the Maiko with Japanese icons on black. Okay, it's 10 to 4. What do I want to do? I know I should continue working on these, but I really want to like cut that backpack out. But I should not be switching. Do not switch tasks, Katie. Do not switch tasks. Also, I'm just tired though. I'm like, am I done sewing for the day? And as much as I say that I would love to say that I'm not, I think I actually am. And since this is in my like a little bit quieter period, and like that zip and grip took it out of me today. So maybe it is time to just go upstairs and like craft dinner, like make dinner, not make like mac and cheese. And do the dishes quick before the kids come home. Actually, that might be the best option. Get some of my chores done. Boring chores. Boring. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do though. Sorry, y'all. But I will finish up putting these on, then I'll come say bye before I head out, obviously. And hey, we did actually get quite a bit done because we got all those packages resorted, and then we got the labels done and adhered. Like this, it doesn't look or feel like much, but it is a pretty big step in like the direction of getting these finished. So that's good. All right, let's get these pressed. So much steam, 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 steam. Okay, yeah, and actually that Merlot cat got very well adhered with the chill on the quilt board, so that's good. Turn off the steam press. A little bit of manual adhering here, aka rubbing the backs of them. Just to try and get it settled. And then yeah, we'll go pop them on the quilt board. Oh, that one went on extremely crooked. What the hell? What happened there? Okay. Okay, so pop that back on its front here. That one's fine. Good. It's just like refusing to go on straight. There we go. The one for the cat's whiskers is all like, brah. I will not be straight. Never. Okay. Still want to scorch it, so we'll pile these all up while it gets re-adhered because it's got less interfacing on the leather. There we go. Now we're good. All right, so we've got all the bases sewn onto the exterior Japanese fabric. We've got them all labeled, and now I'm going to go make dinner because I am done sewing right now. Oh, here. So there's the whole pile of them. And then we'll go through and we'll start doing zippers next time I'm on here, sort of thing. Where is the camera? Oh, I guess because it's like, there we go. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments below. I'll be back on at some point probably this week, and I'll chat.